hard to tell when it starts recording. It started.
Yes,
we are
live.
We're live. Well, kind of. Okay, so today on VA Wednesday, Alyssa and I are going to be talking about what we're seeing in the market right now. So this is a VA mortgage market update. Really?
With me.
So like, I started some sound effects.
Drum roll.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I have Alyssa is she's entertaining, but also because she talks to more people than I do every day. So basically the way that our team works is that if you're calling with questions or rate quotes, or, you know, you're new to the team, you're not getting pre-approved or pre-qualified yet, you always start with myself or Alyssa generally. And what we're trying to figure out is, okay, how can we help you? Yeah. Alyssa, what are you seeing consistently in the last few weeks from the calls that you're having?
Yeah. So my one consistent thing that I've noticed is that people are starting to shop other lenders a couple days after they get their offer accepted. And it just leaves them scrambling. It leaves whoever they choose scrambling. And it's just not the order of operation that, you know, we want the client to be in, or us to be in for that matter. Yes, you need to shop. We want you to do that because we don't want you to get ripped off. Mm-hmm. But you need to pick a couple lenders before you get in contract. And then when the day you get in contract, you just call those two lenders you're already pre-approved with and say, what is your rate? What are the points, if any? And what is the origination?
And
go ahead.
Can you lock me today?
Can you lock me? Yes. You need to lock the second you're in contract.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm always seeing on my end. It's weird. I'm echoing. I wonder why. What I'm always seeing on my end is I'm seeing people who are a week, or I get like the real like fire drill. I'm supposed to close in a week, and the lender just told me my rate's going to be 2% higher than I thought. And it's because what's happening is people see a loan estimate when they get their first disclosures. They see the rate and they're not checking to see if they're locked. So if you're not checking to see if you're locked, anything on that piece of paper, it's garbage until it's locked. And, you know, I always like my big thing, because someone's like, well, when should I lock? I would say day 1 or 2, because I'm seeing so many trash ball lenders right now who are telling people, oh, let's wait. Let's see what happens with the market. It's going to get better. Oh, yeah, I have a prediction. And then they screw them 2 weeks before closing.
Yeah, like, oh, sorry, it is what it is.
Because I feel like I get at least like 5 of those emails from you a week where you're like,
yeah, I'm like texting you, emailing you, calling you, like, can we save this person? I feel so bad. Like they're getting ripped off. Like, can we close them in 15 days? Like, is there any way we can do this?
And sometimes we can. Like, the nice part about VA is that the appraisal, and this is important for you guys to know, the appraisal can be transferred from one lender to another. It's not like a conventional mortgage when you can't. So like if you guys are watching this and you're like, oh my God, am I locked? Right? I know there's at least 2 people watching this checking their paperwork to see if they're locked. We can do it in 15 days if the appraisal, you know, has already been ordered or is back. Where it becomes problematic is, you know, the panicked calls when people are supposed to close in 2 weeks and their lender never even ordered the appraisal.
Yeah.
So I know you have, I asked you, like, can we have some examples of some of the rates that you're seeing people get quoted? Because I'm always going off in videos about it, but I think it's good to have.
Yeah. So what I did was I just did a quick search of like, Jen, can we save these people in my sent items? And I had tons of material. I just quickly picked 3. One of them was, they were getting 5% on a VA purchase. They had 27 days to close. Okay. I didn't even ask what the origination was at that point. I'm like, 5% runaway, please. Like,
I mean,
let me call Jen.
Yeah, even with a lender credit, because sometimes you'll see higher rates because they're giving them some sort of credit towards closing. But 5% is like, I don't even have it on my rate sheet. I
worked here for a year. I've never even seen 5%.
No. Do you remember, I don't know, and I didn't ask you to pull this, but do you know where, like, the ballpark, I'm assuming that we ended up quoting them under 3. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then did we end up with them or no?
I don't I'm not sure. I hope we did. Again, I just quickly pulled people that we were like, can we save them?
Right.
And I wanted
Right.
to give people examples of, anything in the 5% range that is just not okay. And they were like, yeah, I thought it was a little high. I'm like, no, that's a lot high.
Yeah.
Like, very, very high.
Well,
So it's just people, when they get in contract, they feel like, I don't want to lose the house. I might just have to go with this. So that's why we want you to get pre-approved.
Yeah. And that's why I was asking if they ended up staying with us, because sometimes we'll see these crazy rates where we're like, oh my God, you're getting pilfered. And the realtor will be like, you can't switch lenders.
Yeah.
Use the house. And then we're watching and we're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, your realtor's not accurate. We can't do this. But the problem is that if you're in contract and the realtors are throwing a temper tantrum about you switching lenders, it can be a problem.
Yeah.
Because it is a change,
Well, that's why I don't tell them, like, fill out an app. Let's see. I call you. I give you the whole situation, and I let you assess it, because I don't want somebody to just put in an application to see if we can. Like, I want you to get the facts. So,
and then the thing that always stresses me out sometimes, like, if people are already in contract and they're deep, because if they're like, I'm buying a house and it's 3 weeks in, I'm always like, and they're like, I want to know what rates are. And I don't know if you have this too. I used to, like, gleefully, talk about how great my rates are, but now I'm like, I just know how bad they're gonna feel. If they're telling me they're like 4.5, they're 4,
yeah.
they're 5, and I'm like, and I know the chance of them being able to switch is not high unless they can get the seller to extend. So now it's just like, it feels like rubbing salt in a way.
I know, it does feel like rubbing salt in the wound. It's like, God, I wish I could help you so bad. I feel so bad.
Yeah. And so, like, the takeaway from this, I know you have another example.
Yeah. So quickly, the other 2 examples, one of them was 3%, which is not that bad. It's still not good. These are all VA, obviously, but the origination was $37.50.
What was the loan amount? Do you remember?
No, I don't have loan amounts.
Alyssa has terrible notes, is what we're getting.
Yes,
from all of
I
this.
do. I also got wind that I was doing this like 10 minutes before. So, yes.
Well, that could be true. I'm getting outed on these calls. On the call last week, Jen's like, you don't let us have vacation. And for anyone who saw that, just so you know, she's out on Friday. Her husband's out on Monday and Tuesday. All they do is vacation, from what I can tell. And Alyssa had at least 13 minutes to prepare.
Yes.
Yes, 13. But yeah, 3% with the 3,700 origination, I don't, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. No. One thing I was going to note is that credit score comes into play a lot. And I don't know if you notice, like, where I see some of the really bad discrepancies is in the 600 to 660 range. Mm-hmm. And that's usually because there's less lenders willing to do those loans. So Correct. There's a couple lenders in the market who are really laying it on thick, and they're telling borrowers, oh, it's because you have bad credit, or,
mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Well, and then it makes them feel worse. It makes them feel bad. Like, oh, like my credit isn't so favorable, so now I'm getting punished. Like, no, like that's not how it goes. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And I had one yesterday, and it wasn't one we can do. So in theory, we go to a 580 credit score. I have yet to see one get through the system. So basically, the way that our company works, and it's important for you guys to know that VA lenders are different. We all have different overlays. So we'll go as low as 580, but between 580 and 600, I have to get the computer to accept it. And I have not had one get accepted yet. Anything above that, I can do what's known as a manual underwrite, which means if the computer doesn't like it, as long as you meet a couple conditions, no lates within the last year, on-time payment history for rent, we can override the computer. Okay. So this gentleman I was talking to the other day, he's in that 585 bucket, and, the lender's doing a manual underwrite. They have him at 5.25, but I don't know anyone else that's doing it. So sometimes, you may be paying a higher premium because no one else is doing it. I would probably work on my credit to get to more competitive offers.
Yeah, I tell people that too. Like, you're so close. Like, let us, refer you to somebody that can help you and be in a better position in a couple months or 3 months, or, don't force a situation and get ripped off.
I agree 100%. And like, you guys don't have to have, like, Alyssa and I quote all day long. We have really good rates at 604, 609.
Oh yeah. 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 Great.
611. So, don't be dissuaded. I'm just saying, like, if you're in a range where you call 10 lenders and no one will touch it, the one that probably will, they're going to charge you a premium. Yeah. So, okay. The other thing that I'm seeing right now is I am seeing a ton of rip-off credit repair companies.
Yes. They're like, oh, we paid this company like $700 or $800 and they didn't do anything. I'm like, what? Like, but you know what? It's so normalized.
I know.
It blows my mind. I feel like they're like, oh yeah, like that happened to my friend too. I'm like, no, that's crazy. Like, you should be pissed. Like, that's not okay.
I agree 100%. So like, what I'll see is, and the one that really took me back was they were charging the people $500 a month.
Oh my gosh.
$500 a month. And like, what most of these companies do is they're just sending to the credit bureaus disputes. That's it. They play this whole game of like, hey, we're going to try to get it deleted. If you write to the credit bureau that we don't agree with this item, they have 30 days to respond, and if they don't respond, they have to remove it. They have to research it, and then they have to respond or remove. And if they don't research, they remove. So these companies are playing the game of, let's see how many times we can hit them, right, in order to get it removed. But there's cheaper ways.
Yeah. I mean, you can remove it yourself, I think, from certain apps. Like, do it yourself for free.
Yeah, you can. So there is, if you're going to play the dispute game, like, and I don't know if it's still around. I should have looked this up. So on back in the day when I had terrible credit after college, I used her. She had like this little credit repair kit for $50, and online I would click what I wanted to dispute, and then it would send out the disputes, and it was awesome. So you guys do want to ask these credit repair companies, like, hey, like, what are you guys doing? What's your process? Stay the heck away from debt renegotiation. If any of you guys are thinking about doing debt renegotiation, call me before you do, so I can scare you the heck out of it. I don't think you've hit that, Alyssa.
No, I haven't come across that. No.
Yeah, so that's another big one. I'm not really seeing any guidelines tightening up with VA. Alyssa, I haven't given you any heart attacks recently, I don't think.
No. Other than, rates did go up a little bit in the beginning of the year. Yeah, February. And that was the biggest shocker to me, because I was just like, oh my God, VA rates are like so great. And then February, I woke up and I was like, what? And then they were back down again, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, so they have come back down recently. We're seeing some volatility. So like, the last week they've been really good. Today they're ticking up a little bit. We're going to see ebb and flow based on how the government's reacting to COVID.
Well, and that's what I try to tell people is like, if I'm giving you a quote and you like it, lock it, because I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. I mean, I was quoting somebody, one thing in the morning, I got their application, I went to lock them and the rate was different. And I was like, the market is just crazy. It's so volatile. And that's another thing, kind of circling back to the whole shopping thing. I know you've said this a million times, but I want to say it again, is rates are so volatile and they change so much. If you're calling company A on Monday and calling me on Tuesday, it's apples to oranges. You need to start from scratch. Every day you call a lender for rates. And if you like whatever they're offering you, then you need to lock it and be done.
Well, and you also need to ask about lender origination. Is there processing fees? Is there underwriting fees? Are there points? Also, like, can the person close the loan? Like, we hit so many where people, are bringing us scenarios. They're like, I've been in escrow for 60 days and my lender is saying they need more documents. And I'm like, why the hell have you been in escrow for 60 days?
I don't even understand it. And I think a lot of it is because, work
You're
with
you're
you
so
and your
blessed. You've
team.
just been on our team.
Yeah, I'm just so blessed. I'm like, I'm like really confused. Like, how does that even happen?
You know what we can do is I can put you with a terrible loan officer for like a month. And
Punish me.
yeah, well, it wouldn't be a punishment. You'd just be like, why are people calling me screaming, help, help? I don't know what's going on. But there's a lot of misinformation out there, so whenever you guys have questions, reach out to myself, reach out to Alyssa. If it's something one of us don't know, which honestly with VA, a lot of that happens, and it's because the guidelines are so gray. Different lenders look at it differently. We'll go to an underwriter. I probably reach out to underwriters 3 times a day.
I'm the first person always to say, I do not want to give you misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me ask Jen. Let me, ask an underwriter. If I don't know something, I flat out say I have no idea. Like,
yeah,
let me ask.
And sometimes people are like, well, you're not an expert if you don't know off the top of your hand. And it's like, guys, this stuff changes a lot. Like the way different lenders look at this changes. The way a rule might be interpreted changes. I mean, like,
and I'd rather, like, instead of being a yes man and like, moving on, I want to find out if we can actually help the person.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. Anytime a lender says, just fill out an app and we'll figure it out. Like, if they don't have any context to that, like sometimes I'll say, hey, this is what I think we need to do, but I need to see the whole picture because I cannot figure it out without this, then great. But if you say like a trigger, like if you said, oh, I had a bankruptcy last month and they tell you to fill out an app, that's a red flag. They're not going to get that through.
Yeah.
I think there's some other scenarios. Say that you want to buy a 5-unit investment, right? Like just say wild stuff. And if they say fill out an app, then it's say you want to buy a cattle farm with, and there are some niche ways to do stuff, but just say stuff where most people are going to be like, oh, I can't do that. Say you want to buy a house with 3 manufacturers on it. I'm just trying to think of everything that's like.
Say you want cash out in Texas.
Yeah. That is a good one. Cash out in Texas and a VA doesn't exist. So I think we covered most of it. I mean, and I feel like so many of my videos are repetitive about shopping the rates, understanding rates, but it's bonkers. Like
we get told, I mean, that's what I talk to all day long is educating people how to shop and having them send me their loan estimates, walking them through other loan estimates. And they're so grateful. So I think, we just need to keep educating people. It's 3 things: rate, points, origination. And if you don't know what those mean, we can walk you through it.
Yeah. And then, so Alyssa also does a ton of conventional quotes. So my business is 50% VA, 50% conventional, almost smack dab down the middle. With conventional, I don't see these types of rate differences.
No.
2.875 versus 3%. Like that's like wild in conventional world.
Yeah.
Really, really close. It's just in
VA, it's just like rip off Central for some reason. It's so bizarre. I don't get why there's such a huge gap.
It's so messed up, but it's because statistically, and all lenders have this data, VA buyers are less likely to rate shop. They will trust whoever their friend told them to without double checking. And or like if a realtor refers them, they assume, that realtor's done some level of research and it's just, not good. So guidelines, they're great. No drama, no tightening up. Everything's good. We've relaxed. It's nice. It's relaxing. Credit scores, I wouldn't not apply because of your credit. Like call us, talk to us. If Credit Karma is showing 590, odds are when we pull it, it's going to be 560. So talk to us about that before you fill out an app. And rates, you guys still have to watch those rates because there's still a bunch of sharks in the water.
Yep.
Did I miss anything, Alyssa?
No, I think we covered everything pretty good. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to attach the article that I have that talks about how to read a loan estimate. That is, you guys, like, no matter what lender you work with, check out the article, Make sure you understand it. Hold on to it for like your future, because
Yes.
understanding how to read the loan estimate can save you thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to stop recording. So we'll see you guys later. Thank you for this, for checking in while Alyssa and I just, kind of behind the scenes of what we talk about every day.
Yep.
So we will see you guys soon.
Bye.